Okay, again, you are just putting the adverbs in those sentences in your notebook. Just write down adverb review. Here's 1 and 2. Write them down. Guys, we made it a whole 3 days in phase 2 so far. That's great. I hope it's a whole week. That's about it, but we shall see.
The whole week. Also, I prefer being at home, but
Well, if they're gonna break it off, it needs to be at the end of a week, not in the middle. I prefer.
that's true. I prefer phase 1 because it gives me more time to do some amount of work and I learn the same. So that's me personally, but
Yeah, most people are not quite as.
I learn the same and then I have more time for work. It's great.
Okay, we done?
I
Okay.
love
In the first sentence, where are the adverbs?
very.
Barely and ever. One of that weird one, right? Because both of those describe what?
And verb or
Yeah, they're going to the part. So barely describes how they went, like they're both kind of time frames, right? And ever is like another, like when type word. Okay, good. The boy ran meekly over to the scowling teacher. Meekly over. Okay, scowling describes what?
The teacher.
Teacher, and a teacher
Scowling.
is a person, whether you think that or not. So that is a noun. Okay, and so scowling is an adjective.
Could the teacher be in the act of issuing a scowl and therefore it be describing the scowl?
In that case, I think it's still just describing.
It's describing, but the teacher is scowling, so could
Well, if I
that
said the
be a
teacher
verb?
is scowling, then that's a verb. But in this case, because it says the in front of it, we know that the next word is either going to be an adjective or a noun. It's not a noun because the noun is there, so this describes teacher. Yeah. Okay, any other questions on that one? Cool. Today, we're going to talk about interjection. And this is perhaps my favorite Schoolhouse Rock video because of wow, which I think you're really going to like. So, prepare yourself.
Reginald was home with flu.
Got the
The
COVID.
doctor knew just what to do. He cured the infection with one small injection, while Reginald uttered some interjections.
Hey, that's smart! Ouch, that hurt! Yeah, that's not fair, giving a guy a shot down there!
Interjections.
Hey,
Excitement.
yeah!
Emotion.
Ouch!
They're generally set apart from a sentence by an exclamation point or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong. Though Geraldine played hard to get, Sir Ralph knew he grew her. Yes, he showed his affection despite her objections, and Geraldine hollered some interjections.
Well, you've got some nerve! Oh, I've never been so insulted in all my life! Hey, you're kinda cute!
Interjections.
Well,
For excitement
oh,
or emotion.
hey.
Generally set apart from a sentence by an exclamation point or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong. So when you're happy
Hooray!
or sad
Aw!
or frightened
Eek!
or mad
Rat!
or excited, wow, or glad,
Hey!
an interjection starts a sentence right. The game was tied at 7-0. When Franklin found he had the ball, he made a connection in the other direction, and the crowd started shouting out interjections.
Ah, you threw the wrong way.
Darn, you just lost the game.
Hooray, I'm for the other team.
Interjections.
Oh,
Darn.
hooray.
Generally set apart from a sentence by an exclamation point or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong. So when you're happy,
Hooray!
or sad,
Aw,
or frightened,
eek,
or mad,
rats,
or excited,
Wow.
or glad,
hey,
an interjection starts a sentence right. Interjections,
Hey!
show excitement,
Hey!
or emotion.
Hey!
They're generally set apart from a sentence by an exclamation point or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong. Interjections show excitement or emotion. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Boom.
darn, that's the end.
Okay, so what is an interjection?
It emotion.
Okay, they're words that convey emotion, and they're typically one or like two word phrases. So it's not like a whole sentence that you're yelling, right? It's just like a single or maybe a few words. So, definition and some things to note about interjection. It's a part of speech that demonstrates the emotion or feeling of the author. These words or phrases can stand alone or be placed before or after a sentence. And you'll notice that many interjections are followed by an exclamation point or by a comma. That's one of my favorite parts. Is that, wow. Something like that. Okay, so some examples of interjections. Good grief, why are you wearing shorts in the week? Right, so the bolded part, those are the interjections. Grr, I'm going to get it back for that. They don't sound all that bad, to be honest, with just the period. But, let's see, humph, you probably cheated to make such good grades. That seems a little rude to insinuate, however. Or yowza, I think that's my favorite. That is a gorgeous gown. Okay, and you got the comma here, so it can either be an exclamation mark, it can be a period too, if it's just like one word, and then you kind of know that they're like not into it. They're not like grr, they're like grr, blah, 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 like, you know, kind of more like they're rolling their eyes at the same time. You don't need to write all this down. You can write down like one or two if you wanted, but what I'm going to have you do instead of find interjections in sentences, because I feel like that's instead, you're going to write in your writer's notebook 3 sentences that contain an interjection correctly punctuated. It can be whatever you want to express the emotions. But just write down 3 in your notebook.
3 interjections.
3 like sentences with an interjection. So you have the interjection and then maybe like a sentence afterwards too. Does that make sense? Or if you use the comma, then that would be the same sentence. You're down, right, in the back. Okay, cool. I just get confused when it's like at a different spot, like, did I not remember anything? Just kidding. Claire's gone. I'm so sweet. Alright, does anyone have one they want to share? Go for it.
Hooray, she's dead.
Like maybe about the Wicked Witch?
That's what I was thinking.
That's-
But I think there were probably too many situations.
That's fair.
Right.
Nice. Soraya, what's yours?
Mine is, dang it, why is grammar so confusing?
Because she has the Alzheimer's. Just kidding.
Oh,
Hopefully not.
she's dead.
My grandma might have the Alzheimer's, but that's a totally different story. Okay, anyone else want to share? Okay, great. Well, hopefully yours are exciting and that you like it. Does anyone have questions about interjections? These should be pretty easy to spot if you were to take a quiz and be like, okay, which one? Okay, if it's separated one word with the exclamation mark, that would be it, or if it's a little comma and it's expressing like that emotion, like kind of words that are like, what part of speech was this? I don't know, like, okay, right, so those are your interjections, okay? So we are going to talk, we're going to transition out to, I almost said To Kill a Mockingbird. We're over that. But we're going to talk about Romeo and Juliet. So you should have read the first act and scenes 1 through 5. So if you'll pull that out, I want to go over any questions you weren't able to answer on your own. Yeah, I'll have you do that in a minute. I know, but those are probably yeah. Yeah, you borrow one too? Yeah. Did you get one at all? Yeah. You just forgot it today? Okay. It's very hard to read. So remember that the big organizing chunks of this are acts, and there are 5 acts in every Shakespeare play ever. So Act 1 had 5 scenes in it. Did you have questions that you were looking at that you couldn't find the answer to? Let's see how well. And it's not like I didn't do any of them. Give me all of it. Sorry.
My question is, I've always thought, so the first time I read this, I thought that Juliet was 14, but it says that she's not yet 14. So is she 13 or 14?
How old is she?
Probably
13. Right, if she's not yet 14.
14.
Props of elimination.
Although that could just be 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7.
But it says she'll be 14 in a fortnight.
Well, that's later, when the question
Well, the
right
question is
there.
asked.
Okay,
is-
Sister Sassy has the odds of that. She's like, oh, she's actually only 9. Like, she's not yet 14. Well, no joy. Okay, so she's 13.
I think it's kind of messed up. She's 13 and she's just like, okay, I'm gonna get
Yeah, I mean, I guess we do have to remember that the standards for the 1500s were like, you got the plague and died at like 33, so they're pretty much middle-aged by that point, right? 13. You guys are lucky that you're not going to get, at least the bubonic plague. You might get the COVID, but hopefully.
Well, it still exists, so you can't
Yeah,
get it.
it's still-
You're just less likely
They had a
to
breakout
die.
just a few months ago, I think, somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
new word.
Imagine getting COVID and the plague at the same time.
That would probably be bad for everyone, probably mutating them with all that.
Well,
At least it's not like an Ebola plague we're in right now, right? That's nice.
I mean, sometimes Africa has
So
that, but.
there was in India on the news, there's like a bunch of people who sick and they just died from sickness, they can't say, and I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, I saw that. That sounds friendly. Okay, anyway, other questions from Romeo and Juliet that you didn't get answered? that you want answered. Yeah.
Sorry,
That's okay.
just in general, how long should I have this be?
Just like 1 or 2 words. They do not have to be like.
Oh,
I mean, you're never gonna get worse if you practice full sentences. Well, I mean, it's just whatever you need to explain it, right? If it's a statement, obviously put the whole. But like, if it's like, who did this? You can write down their name, like the nurse or whatever. Other questions? This is your chance. So if you got one you didn't get. Going what? Going fly. Okay. Soul. Soul. Soldier soul. Okay, then what we're going to do now, last night you guys read kind of the intro where they all suck and all hell breaks loose, right? And they fight each other, they get in trouble, and then it transitions where Paris is talking to Lord Capulet. And who is Paris? Yeah, he is a suitor for Juliet. The Capulets like him, and Paris likes Juliet. The only one who still needs to buy in is Juliet. Right, the one who defends the most, ironically enough. Okay. Yeah, so she hasn't consented yet, and her dad wants her to be able to. So he's like, all right, we'll go to the party and just like woo her later. He's like, done, I will woo her, okay? So we'll see if she gets wooed. And then Lady Capulet shows up, and there's like the nurse there, and they're talking to Juliet. And what are they trying to convince Juliet?
To marry Paris.
Hey, that nurse guy though, right? He's good looking. And what does Juliet do like?
She's like,
She's like, I don't really care about marriage.
She's like, what do you think you're right? She's like, it's an honor that I don't want to have.
Yeah, she's like nice about it, but I don't want to steal the visor. Okay, that might be fine. Okay, and then there is this like little dude. He's like a clerk, or they call him a clown, but he's delivering invitations to whose party? The Capulet, and he can't read, which seems like a
Oh yeah, that's one
bad
question
idea.
I had. I didn't really get what the condition was to get
Oh
to
yeah,
that part.
so he says, hey, if you help me read this, I'll let you come to the party as long as you're not a Montague.
So they end up being Montagues.
So they're like, totally, it's a masked party, we're not Montagues. But we love a good party, right? So, Romeo is pretty sad, he doesn't really care. Why is he sad? Yeah, Rosaline, the love of his life, not only doesn't want to marry him, but do you guys know what she wants to do instead? Be a nun! It's like, you have turned her off to all men, maybe. Maybe that's not why, but it kind of feels like it. So, he's like depressed, and so his buddies, right, his little compadres are like, come on, let's go to this party, you'll find another chick, it'll be great. And so he's like,
It doesn't quite go there.
Romeo's kind of the latest, I think, but that's fine. I won't bias. You might think he's real romantic. I just
Oh
don't
no,
like.
he's crazy. I think Juliet's really wild with Juliet.
Okay, and then they go to the party, and they finally meet Romeo and Juliet. So, before we launch into, well, we're gonna watch that scene after we're done with one thing, where they meet each other, and then we'll watch the famous balcony scene from. It's a modern version of Romeo and Juliet, so it has Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes. Is it Danes or Danes? I think it's multiple Danes. Okay, anyway, it doesn't really matter that much. But they're set in a modern setting, but they're still using the Shakespearean language, but it's like, I guess by modern, like the 90s, so you probably weren't even alive yet. But it was sort of modern at the time it was made, so.
It's Danes.
It's Danes with this. Okay, thank you. Okay, so, but before we do that, and we talk about their love, we're going to talk about love. Okay, so in your packet, after the Act 1 question, it says, what is love? Okay, and there are 6 questions that have a yes or no. You will choose yes or no, but then, most important, I want to know why you think what you think. I don't actually really care what you think. I want to know the reasoning behind it. I mean, like, I care. I want to know why. Okay? So we'll discuss it. If you have your To Kill a Mockingbird book, to check that in, you can come and do that and then go back and work on your questions. But like, if you make a line, just like don't stand too close to each other because that's bad.
6 feet apart, people.
6 feet. Supper Santa thing. If you guys wanna donate to Supper Santa and you get your second period, I'm sure you can do that.
Supper Santa teacher has even talked about it. It's a little wet right here, but then probably dry.
Hold on 1 second while I just take me a second to get it.
It just fell off.
They're kind of old.
I can tell.
Yeah, they're old.
Is there a date on that?
Oh.
We'll just make sure that it's the right copy. I'm sure that it is every once in a while they get a big set. And they charge you for it.
Copyright is 1982.
I think we probably got it sent in, but, all right, you're good.
Okay.
No problem.
Books are from 1982.
You said they should not get mixed up. This year, they shouldn't
Like
get
the
mixed up.
these were made in these books were made in 1982. At least that's when the copyright was, which is when they were made. Yes, they're old. Like,
She's just too lazy to come up.
oh, they're old. Parents.
Anyone else have a book they want to upload? Go ahead once. Try. Okay, well, the library is not closed. Was anyone not here last time? It doesn't have
So can we print them in tomorrow after school?
Can you what?
Print them in tomorrow after school?
Your books or? Yeah, that's fine. You guys want to donate to Substance? I think we're up to a total of $8, so.
Oh, wow.
And 2 cans, so that's exciting. So yeah, if there are meals that you don't want to eat, that your parents are trying to make you eat, donate them. Then you're not a bad person.
That's not really stuff for Santa though. I'm trying to start it.
It has to be the kid. Huh?
Hey, I bought diapers for my son for Santa family.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can bring stuff too, like if your parents, I don't know, are toy makers, but that sounds rude.
It's a Santa Claus.
If your, yeah, if your parents happen to be Santa Claus, then feel free.
Except for if you're funding for Santa.
Yeah, it gets a little confusing, it's like subsets.
Causes love.
Please, no, $4.
That's what it is.
That's so many times.
Yes is saying there is no such thing as love, and no saying there is no, not such a thing. It's a double negative, so no is yes, there is love, and yes is no, there is double negative.
Hey.
What is this for?
Basically, it's what makes love. It's literally love in hormone. Like, yeah, because there's no such thing as love. I said no, because
I'm disappointed in you too, Anton.
well, yeah, love. Yeah, love.
If you have money, put it in there.
Teenagers are not real love.
Wait, no, we are all.
What?
I mean, teenagers can't make decisions. I can make decisions. And my decision is, I'm stupid. Love is not a So then, you'll see testifies on the green.
Way to go. Way to help the children. Yeah, you can steal your change. I would always look through my couch for change.
I don't know how to write these, I just like, yes or no.
Wait, what's the yes? There's nothing here that can be yes. Did you say yes to the 6 minutes? Or was it to their love? If so, that's even more pessimistic than I thought.
Okay, like 3 more minutes?
I know, I need to do that.
Oh, let's use grossness as evidence for, okay. I think bigger armies is better, but okay. But there's more logic. Logic is better than bigger armies, but bigger armies is logical, so love is illogical. Okay, fine.
Alright, are we done? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. For our discussion, let me see how much time we have. Okay, so I will ask the question and then you're gonna give me a thumbs up for yes and a thumbs no, thumbs down for no.
Thumbs no.
A thumbs no, a thumbs yes, thumbs no. Okay, and then we'll talk about it, okay? So I believe in love at first sight, thumbs up, thumbs down. Alright. We've got a romantic in the back. Tell us why you believe in love at first sight.
Well, first of all, I want to hear why no one believes in love at first sight.
Okay, and then you'll respond? Okay. Wow. And then we've got our cynics up front. Bingo.
You need to get to know somebody to love love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the thing, love, it has to be centered around like mutual respect and like actually knowing the person. Or else it's just like, so-called love at first sight is called a crush, and those don't last very long. Because it's a difference between like seeing someone and thinking, wow, they look good, and saying, like, you're in love with them. It's not, it's different, because you actually have to know somebody. That's why.
Alright.
So you don't believe you can like someone based off looks?
No, you can't like someone, it's just not, you're actually in love with them.
Okay, I have a question for you, and maybe James will help in your defense. You give birth to a baby, you see it the first time, you love it. Love at first sight!
That is a release of oxytocin, which happens during pregnancy. It's basically just telling you to protect it, while also, it's basically more a culmination of I need to save it for the species.
Marissa.
I'm at a middle-ish ground, because you do have initial attraction, that is a thing, you
Okay.
can like kind of know that you kind of really like someone, so you have a little bit of a love at first sight, but to actually grow it, you have to get to know
Yeah,
them.
that's
So it's
what
kinda-
I'm saying.
There is love at first sight, but it's not gonna be like, oh my gosh, let's get married and have many children. It's more like, hey, you look kind of hot, I kind of want to get to know you.
Alright, James, do you have anything to add?
I agree with that. Like, love at first sight doesn't necessarily mean, I don't think it's saying you have to like it's not true just because, sorry,
Well, that's okay.
It's because I have an imposing prosecution. But
No, I like it, and you're free to speak your mind. This is a safe place, even if they seem kind of snarky. It is safe, I promise.
I've got this.
Okay, Sarai.
Here's the thing, like, I get what you're saying, but, I'm gonna use this back to the point, cause that's kinda like, you know, what everyone does. You do live under a rock like me, but, in the unrealistic things are like with Disney princesses, when they're just like, bam, you kiss me a lick and I'm gonna marry you. That's what is normally coined as true love. So when I'm saying I don't believe in true, like, love at first sight, I'm meaning like some psychopath puts a shoe on your foot and you get married.
so you're saying to have love, you must be married
No.
and get to know each other.
No, if you love someone, though, you have to know them and understand them. It can't be like a split second, bam.
Do you have to know someone to love them?
Kind of. Well, or you can admire someone in like, oh, you're my idol.
Yeah, I guess it depends, right? If we define love, maybe you could, yeah.
This is gonna sound really deep or something, but like,
Already.
I don't believe in love at first sight, because when you see this person, I think you just love the idea of being with someone that is attractive towards you. You don't know what they're like, you don't know like if they're nice or mean, so like, I honestly think that just getting to know somebody is like,
Okay.
better, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, good thoughts. 2, I believe that there's a perfect match out there for everyone. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Alright. Let's start with Samantha. What do you think?
I don't think that there's like one perfect match for anyone, that like people can like love multiple people, and that like not like there's not gonna be like a perfect like couple of people, like every couple's gonna like fight and like have disagreements, like, cause everyone's different, so no one can be like a perfect match.
Okay, I like that. Let's see here. Piper, what do you think?
I thought there was, just because I feel like everyone can find someone that they love, and I feel like if you think it's perfect, then it can be.
So like your perception of perfection, not like some, here's the line, or like whatever you define as. What is it? It's like a definitional problem. Hey, Chloe?
Yeah, I think there is, because not everyone is perfect, but like everyone can, not everything is perfect.
Okay.
Like, you can find someone that's right.
So if you're both imperfect, then maybe we have some perfect and perfect. That's cute. Maya?
I said yes, I think there is, but like if people, like one person lives in like China and one person lives like here, like you might not ever find each other, but like
But they exist out there, you're just unfortunately never gonna meet them. That's heartbreaking a bit. Ava?
I don't think there is, but I think that like a relationship are determined by like overcoming problems, because I think that everyone like eventually, whether it's like a friendship or a relationship, there will be some sort of conflict, and people that stay together are able to like look over those things and still love each other.
Okay. Yeah. We'll go William and then back and then James.
I said no, just because saying that there's a perfect match is more like putting like faith and destiny. It's like, just like one day I will meet someone and they will be perfect for
Literally
me.
someday my prince will come.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen this song.
But it's just like, I don't deny that there are good matches, people who can work together, and what you were saying, the overcome problems, I think is really a good definition of what a strong relationship should be. But there's not gonna be a perfect pair who can all overcome any problem.
Okay. Yeah. Patty.
Yeah, I agree with all of these, but there are billions of people on this world, and how can you not match with one single person? Like, it doesn't have to be a perfect.
Really sad.
If like you dated like billions of people and then none of them like turned out to be a good relationship, it's like
probably a you problem. Yeah, James?
I just looked up the definition for perfect, and part of it was like, as good as it can possibly be. So if there was a perfect relationship, it would have no challenges, but every relationship has challenges.
But it's as good as it can possibly be. Okay, I like that. Okay, good thoughts. You guys are so deep. Okay. There is no such thing as love. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Yeah, in this case, if you believe in love, your thumb is down. That was kind of a confusing statement. All right. Seems like everyone is at least hopeful, so that is good. We probably discussed that one.
It's just the release of oxytocin.
Oh my gosh.
It's not just the release of hormone in your brain.
I believe that even family and friends are worth losing if they get in the way of true love.
No, I have a really good
Maybe
idea.
you should add the same thing.
Okay, let's ask. No, let's go back here. What do you got?
You should,
Go
do
ahead.
what you believe.
Huh?
Don't let anyone hold you back. Do what you want.
Do what you want. The American dream. Take what?
So family is like your stable ground. So if you lose everything in your life, and if you even cut them off, you won't have anywhere to go to. But if you stay with them, then you would have somewhere to go to if you lost everything.
Well, you're born with your family, and like you can't, for legally your family, you can get divorced, you can break out, but you cannot lose, like, born out of your family.
You really decide.
You can't be unborn.
Yeah, but like, unless
Yeah.
you, if you stay, like, so it's better to stay with them.
Okay, so Ryan.
We're talking a lot about like romantic love, but relationships with family and you know your friends, like that is kind of a type of love because you know, like they're people that make you happy. They're there for you, and so it might not be like, wow, I want to marry you, but they're you know they're your family. Your friends are family that you choose for yourself. They're optional. You don't see 24/7. Okay, and so you know like it's good to have these people there for you. Because like risking like these relationships, like there's this pyramid of like health and like well-being, and part of it is actually before you want like there are basic needs that need to be taken care of. And one of those is one of those things is connections, and you have to be connected to people, or else you're not going to be okay.
Okay, Maya.
Well, I think like if your family's like good and like you have good friends and stuff, then you should stay with them. Cause like you still love those people too, and I think like they're like such a big part of your life. But if they're like really abusive to you and they like don't do good things, then like, you don't want to stay with them.
Yeah. Okay. Say.
Yeah, going off what Maya said, like, if they're already bad friends, like, just, I mean.
Kick them to the curb.
Yeah, kind of. But like, if, like, I don't know, like, just kind of do what's best for you, and like, if losing those relationships means that you're happy, then, I don't know.
Okay. Pursue the greatest happiness. Yeah, but.
My main reasoning is that I've loved friends and family longer than any person that I just met, so that's just kind of a logical reason for.
Stay with the family.
Yeah, just like they're closer, you know them better.
Okay.
Yeah, but then there are some families that just don't get along, and maybe it's not they're just really abusive, but they're just not, they fight all the time, like they're just not happy in them, so then they just disagree and they don't agree with that, so sometimes it's not.
I do have a lot of family, so I feel that. I have like 11 sisters, and then like 4 others. So you don't agree with all of them all the time. That is okay. Okay, we have time for one of the remaining questions. So either teenagers are capable of real love, or believe the teenage one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
if it's
okay. Do you think teenagers are capable of real love? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
No.
What is that?
Let's start with Alan. What do you think? I heard your passionate. No.
I think that we're all capable of anything. It's just highly unlikely.
Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, go for it.
Teenagers' brains aren't all the way developed,
brains are broken.
Yeah.
You can't love anyone.
They're also like 12-year-olds.
Okay, I have a good argument.
Okay, we'll go Anson and then Gwen.
I feel like teenage relationships, they mix loneliness for love.
Aw. I think that might be everyone though, like, to be honest.
So I don't think they'll be able to comprehend their feelings towards people.
Because they're sad and lonely. Everyone would go, okay, Gwen.
Okay, so my mom got married.
That's really
I don't know if this counts, but my mom got married when she was a teenager, but my dad was 25. So technically,
Like their median age is like.
so technically, they love each other still.
Technically.
So that means it's real love.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Well, at first I said no, because teenagers are just young and dumb. But then I feel like you don't have to love a person, you can love like an object.
Okay, so different kinds of love. So William and then Soraya.
Okay, well, just, I mean, the context that this is romantic love. This is an example of real love, which I am assuming is romantic.
Okay, so many people.
And another thing, teenagers cannot make decisions accurately with certain exceptions myself.
Okay, Soraya, raise your hand. If you guys have something you want to say, you can raise your hand. Or you can just talk over me like I don't matter because I already feel that way.
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Keep saying like that, like we're talking about like. I want to go back to like, you know, what you said about family and friends and stuff, because I mean, you can love your family, you can love your friends, you can love a book character if you're really desperate.
I love this. Seeing dropping bombs. It pops all over.
All right.
But like, there's different kinds of like actually like loving someone, and everyone's capable of that, unless you're like, I don't know. I'm not saying, yeah, unless you're like a sociopath, or like or Mr. Scrooge before the ghost of Christmas comes.
All right. Tangents, but I get it. Marissa.
I feel like it's kind of a weird thing. Like my brother dated a girl in high school and they got married, or like my brother's friend just broke up with his girlfriend. They went on a sad, lonely drive through the mountains together to do stuff. But whatever. Basically, I feel like you can't feel love. You're just kind of dumb with how you kind of handle it. You go a little too extreme with it. You can't feel it, but it's kind of like a weird. You don't technically know how to make decisions properly. So like.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Sadie, finish this up.
Not throw my brother under the bus. So,
Oh,
he's
no.
dated a lot of girls and none of them have worked. They're not developed. Neither of them are fully developed on what they actually want.
Okay. Hattie.
I feel like teenage love is a lot more romanticized by like rom-coms and like things like that, but I do believe teenagers are capable of love. Like, somebody said that like teenagers' brains aren't developed, but like they can be developed. It just depends on the person. And
Yeah.
like,
And I guess the question on that is, does your brain have to be fully developed to love? Okay, sorry, we have to move on.
Okay.
But I love